Hello and welcome to the Daily Royal. My name is Shelby and I have been a royal watcher for the past 10 years. In this podcast, I talk about the daily events of 7 of the European monarchies. So I talk about Belgium, the UK, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and Sweden. I upload Monday through Friday with occasional bonus episodes here and there. Today we are going to be talking about all of the events from Monday, October 18th, and today, Tuesday, October 19th of 2021. I am genuinely just not even sure what to say. I didn't record yesterday due to just some personal circumstances outside of my control. Like, I managed to get up the special episode on the Earthshot Prize, and that was about all I could do due to just other things going on. No big deal. Everything is fine now. I started an outline. I got pretty far. It just didn't happen. It's fine. We're moving on. Everything's good. Just couldn't make it happen. However, yesterday was pretty quiet. Today has been kind of busy, but not really. So we'll just go through like we normally do, talk about all the events. Probably not do a ton of chit chat, maybe a little. We'll see how that goes. And then we'll hopefully come back tomorrow. Here's the thing. If we don't come back tomorrow, we'll come back on Thursday. Like, I need to take some of the pressure off myself personally to be perfect all the time, and certainly I am not, and I need to take the pressure off myself to be okay with that, and that's just where we're at right now. I am taking things a little slower because otherwise I'm gonna burn myself out, and I don't want to do that. So I really like doing this podcast. I really enjoy it. I don't want to stop doing it, and right now it's just about making it manageable to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it manageable for me, and that means taking the pressure off. I still intend on recording Monday through Friday, and all of that. And by recording, I mean uploading. I record Sunday through Thursday, but I will continue with that schedule as much as possible. But if I forget things, just know that or if I'm not here, just know it's gonna be combined and probably up the next day. And if it's not, hopefully I can hop on and say like, hey, this is what's going on. So anyway, that's where we're at. So let's go ahead now and jump in with the Belgian royal family. Belgium. In Belgium on Monday, King Philippe had a couple of different meetings. So he met with 2 of the commissioners for Wallonia, who have been tasked with rebuilding the city, like the ideas and implementation for rebranding for the region after the floods that happened in July this year that really destroyed a lot of properties and just various destruction. So these 2 women have been tasked with coming up with solutions and implementations for rebuilding. And then after that, he met with an organization that I will never learn how to pronounce because it just looks very complicated. But they are in charge of delivering to the king the first pear and apple harvest of the season, which cracks me up. I think this also happened in 2020 with around strawberries, perhaps. And it was the funniest thing to me. It's not as funny now, like I'm a little more used to it, but it's still very strange. So anyway, that was Monday, and then today he received new ambassadors. The ambassadors are from Azerbaijan, Malaysia, Qatar, and Liechtenstein. So he received those in the solemn ceremony at the Belgian Royal Palace in Brussels. And then Queen Mathilde had an event today where she visited the Provincial Hotel School of Namur, which is a province in Belgium, and the school is training various parts of like hotel life, so hospitality. So she specifically visited the kitchens, but then also took part in a meeting. So they have 3 kitchens. They have a hot kitchen, a cold kitchen, and then a pastry kitchen, which apparently is the one she liked the most because, like, who doesn't love pastry kitchens the most? And so that is what she was up to today. Lots of fun stuff going on. They do have a pretty, I would say medium busy agenda this week. There are still definitely some events, but nothing huge. I do think, though, that Belgium is going to be, like, the last country to have a state visit. Because so far they are not scheduled for one. I do know that King Philippe is going to Denmark next week, I think, on a working visit. But, like, that's it. There is no state visit scheduled. At this point, I'm not sure if they'll resume the one to Italy or what's going on there. But I'm just hoping maybe we'll have one by the end of the year from Belgium, but we'll see. Even an incoming one is obviously fine. I'll take whatever. Just something, please. So that is what was going on in Belgium. So now we are going to move over to the British royal family. The United Kingdom. In the UK yesterday, there were no events. However, there were a good few events today. So we will start with the biggest one, the one that has been most anticipated this week. Kind of, except like Earthshot was literally 2 days ago, so that one was obviously more anticipated. But today, Queen Elizabeth hosted a reception at Windsor Castle for high-powered people that were attending a summit on sustainability, essentially, and like different problems or different solutions to the world problems. Also in attendance was the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Cambridge, as well as some other members of the royal family who I don't typically talk about on this podcast. So like the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester and Prince Michael of Kent, all were also present. And then like people that they were meeting included former Secretary of State John Kerry, who is now the U.S. Special Envoy for Climate. Bill Gates was there. Those were the 2 most recognizable names to me. So Bill Gates obviously has a huge philanthropy effort, as well as being one of the richest men in the world. John Kerry is a huge advocate, obviously, for climate change policies and renewable solutions, as he is, named such by the federal government of the United States. So that's a big deal. So yeah, that is what is going on there. But then we also had some other events today from the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duchess of Cambridge. So today the Duchess of Cornwall delivered the Oldie of the Year awards. So this goes to people of the older generation. How do I say this without like getting in trouble with those people who have made intense contribution to public life? So a few of the awardees were doctors who have been with the NHS for like 40 years. I believe a poet was also named. They offered this year an award. They wanted to give Queen Elizabeth an award for Oldie of the Year. She respectfully declined, as she feels she did not meet the criteria because you're only as old as you feel. So apparently Queen Elizabeth does not feel old, which is great. I love it. We love the sentence. And even in the event tonight, she was very chatty. She talked to Secretary Kerry about his appearance during the Earthshot Prize. She said, I saw you on the telly last night when I was watching William's Earthshot Prize. So I just thought that was lovely. I just think that's awesome. So that was Camilla's event. And then also this morning, the Duchess of Cambridge attended an event launching the campaign Taking Action on Addiction. The campaign is being launched by Forward Trust, which is a patronage for Kate. And she gave a speech. What I would say is one of her most impactful speeches that I have heard. If you don't know, if you haven't paid attention to this part of Kate's kind of transformation to who she is now, 10 years ago when she started with speeches and things along those lines, she was, do I say terrible? They were rough. She is very nervous as a public speaker. And so the announcement, the presentation at the Earthshot Prize was a huge, oh my goodness. And then even today I thought was really, really good. It was a well-prepared speech and the topic was hugely important. So, and I think these first lines will be something people remember. So she gave a speech starting with, addiction is not a choice. No one chooses to become an addict. But it can happen to any one of us. None of us are immune. And I just want to take a break from the royal hubbub of it all for just a second and comment on how true this is. No one actively chooses to become addicted. People don't lie around thinking, hey, I'm going to start getting addicted to this substance. That is not a thing people think. People will typically try something once and then it becomes an addiction if it's recreational. And then there are the other situations where it starts out as pain management and now is a full-blown addiction, which is a huge problem in the US. And people you would never expect. You wouldn't look at them and think, oh, you have an addiction problem. The non-stereotypical addicts struggle too. They didn't want to become addicted. Neither did stereotypical, what you imagine in your head when I say drug addict. Neither did they. They didn't want this. They didn't want the addiction. And here they are. And for us to judge them or have no sympathy, let alone empathy for them, is just cruel. And so props to Kate for saying that in the top of her speech and then going on to an impassioned speech about how addiction is a mental health crisis and we should treat it as such, not as a problem, not as a taboo subject, I guess is what I mean. So props to her. Way to go. That's amazing. So that is what was going on in the UK. And so now we are going to move on to Denmark. Denmark. In Denmark, there was actually only one event over the past couple of days, and that event was held today. So Queen Margrethe delivered the 2021 Rheumatology Award, Queen Ingrid Research Award in Rheumatology. Excuse me, I said that in the wrong order. So Queen Ingrid is was Queen Margrethe's mother, who was patron of the Arthritis Association for 25 years, and then this award was created in 1978 to mark her work and her commitment to the Arthritis Association. At some point, I'm not entirely sure when, Queen Margrethe took over that patronage and now delivers this award every year, which honors rheumatology or research on arthritis. And the research that is being done to bring a level of a spotlight to rheumatology research, because obviously it's not like a bright and shiny research subject. So this award, with the Queen's support, whether that be Queen Ingrid years ago or now Queen Margrethe, is a massive bump. So that was what was going on there, and that was the only event scheduled for the past couple days. There were public audiences. Let me rephrase that. There were public audiences yesterday. That being said, there's no information on those. So that is what was going on there. It does look like there may be nothing scheduled for like the rest of the week in Denmark. We'll see how accurate that stays. But right now, that's where we're at. So that is what was going on in Denmark. There have been no events in the Netherlands, so we're going to skip them. They actually have no events scheduled this week. So it's very possible that this is like a fall holiday for Princess Amalia is on a gap year, so no one really knows what she's doing, and that's okay. And I do know Alexia will be on holiday. I don't know if she is yet or if she will be on fall break soon, but it is presumed that that is what is going on. So that is what was going on in Denmark. Nothing in the Netherlands. So now we are going to move over to Norway. Norway. In Norway, there were a couple of events, one each day of the past couple of days. So on Monday, King Harald delivered the King Olav V Cancer Research Prize for 2020 and 2021. So this prize is given to a researcher or group of researchers who promote and increase Norway's cancer research quality and profile. So this award is named for King Olav V, who is King Harald's father. I know King Harald did not have cancer, King Olav did not have cancer, excuse me. Gosh, lots of just random speaking mistakes today. King Olav did not suffer from cancer to my knowledge, to public knowledge. However, his wife, who was Crown Princess Marta, did. And passed away actually before she could become queen, due to, I believe it was breast cancer. So this is obviously something that Olav was passionate about and then was named for him upon his death. And so King Harald now delivers this award every year. So that was on Monday, and then on Tuesday, King Harald visited the Norwegian Sami lands. So Sami people are the indigenous people to Norway, northern Norway specifically, and Sweden. They had their own culture, very separate from the southern parts of that country, because it at one point was a country in and of itself. And in fact, I think it was like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden were all a country at this point, and maybe even Finland. And so, these people, I still am not sure of their the atrocities committed against them, but I do know that there are some. Please recognize that I know this. However, I am just reporting on the event, and I have chosen not to take a position because I very much do not understand, but being an American whose indigenous people had horrible atrocities, I am, of course, empathetic to that situation, and I don't want it to be misconstrued that I am not. I just do not know enough. I have not researched enough. I have not learned enough to understand everything. But today, King Harald was present for the installation of the Lapik-o-Discilin. That's what I'm going to say. It is probably not right. This is a document that is referred to as the Sami Magna Carta, or Great Document, that gave Sami people rights, as well as instituted the responsibility of the country they lived in towards the Sami people. So King Harald also has an event tomorrow where I believe he is opening the Norwegian Sami Parliament, I think. And so he was there today to be present for the coming home of that document, which is being reinstalled into Sami lands. So that is what was going on today in Norway and yesterday as well. I believe King Harald's event is tomorrow is the last event of their week. So it really is quieting down for almost everybody else right now. However, Spain is ramping up. So with that transition, we are going to move over to the Spanish royal family. Spain. In Spain, we have a moderately busy past couple of days. So yesterday, King Felipe and Queen Letizia started their day by hosting the annual meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Cervantes Institute, which is the International Center for the Study of the Spanish Language, as well as the lobbying for Spanish as a language. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but promotion of the Spanish language, we'll use that instead. So that they hosted the annual meeting as well as a lunch given to the board members. So that was the first event. And then later on yesterday, King Felipe received representatives of the Tourism Madrid 2021 International Tourism Fair, which started on the 19th, or today, to basically learn more about the project, as well as the use of Madrid as a tourist location, because obviously it is. So that is what was going on Monday. And then today, King Felipe had a couple of different events that are kind of connected. So like you'll notice on the website and Instagram, I'm going to use these together. But the first event was the inauguration of the new campus of IE University, which is an international university now based in Madrid. So they have a new campus, which is a skyscraper. It is the fifth largest, tallest building in Madrid, and like the eighth tallest building in Spain as a whole. So I assume the other three are in Barcelona. And so he was able to inaugurate the new building, visit different classrooms and labs and all the things. So this is like a massive building that was sustainably, they promoted the sustainable architecture of it all. It's super modern and technology based. It's a huge deal. So he was able to visit that. And then later on in the day, he attended the inauguration or the opening of Enlighted Conference, which is a conference focused on education, technology, and innovation, which was created out of a collaboration of the Telefonica Foundation, which is Telefonica, I think, is a television. Maybe it's like not. Maybe it's just like the main communicative. I don't know what Telefonica is. I think it's a television situation, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it was also in collaboration with IE University and South Summit. So that is what he was doing today. Now, I will say, the Spanish royal family has tomorrow off, which I think is fair. Like, they are about to put in 3 really intense days of work. So I think that's fair. I assume Leonore's coming home possibly tomorrow. I'm not going to, proclaim that as truth. It's just an assumption I'm making, to spend a day with her family before she has to take on institutional duties. And it may not be the case. Like I said, I'm not sure. I don't know her school's calendar. That is one thing, just preface this very quickly. I know general calendars for countries. So if the kids are in a public school, I will typically know that. I will never, for Prince Christian's school, Princess Leonore and Princess Alexia's school, I am never going to look up when their schools are on break. Same with Oxford for Princess Elizabeth. Yes, that is basically public information, but it feels a little stalkery to me. And there are some levels of feels a little stalkery I'm willing to go. Not with these children. That is too far for me. So, there were some things today happening at Oxford that the pictures made the rounds. I personally will not talk about them because the Belgian royal household has not. But that's it. I know this stuff is happening if it's widely shared, but without it being widely shared, I don't know. I don't know the school's calendar. I'm choosing not to know the school's calendar because it's none of my business. It's her private education. So I just assume that that's what's happening tomorrow. And then the whole family will go up to Oviedo together on Thursday is my expectation. So all the fun. So that is what was going on today and yesterday in Spain. So now we are going to move over to the Swedish royal family. Sweden. In Sweden, we do have a number of events going on. So we will talk about yesterday first. So we'll talk about King Carl Gustaf and Queen Sylvia's events, and then we'll combine Monday and Tuesday events for Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel. So on Monday, Queen Sylvia attended a seminar focused on human trafficking of children specifically, with Child 10, which is an organization, I'm going to call it an organization. And then she also delivered the Child 10 prize to organizations that are in the fight against human trafficking from, I believe, around the world. I don't think it was a domestic organization. I think there were international organizations on there. So that was her event on Monday. And then today, King Carl Gustaf welcomed the new ambassadors from the Philippines, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and the Czech Republic. So this was another presentation of credential ceremony. It does seem like these are happening pretty often right now, probably in a lag from just the past year and a half of COVID and not being able to hold a bunch of things. Even now, the ceremony is still reduced in what it normally is, which is something I'm really excited to see when it happens, what they normally are. So anyway, that is what King Carl Gustaf was up to today. And then we have this trip. So Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel are currently on a trip to Italy with a trade delegation. So they are there promoting They are promoting Swedish-Italian partnerships on various things related to, I believe, technology and sustainability. The first 2 days, so today and yesterday, were spent in Rome. And then tomorrow they will be in Turin to finish out their 3-day trip. The reason I sound slightly frustrated with this is because this is kind of where the wheels fell off yesterday. I was rip-raring ready to go, doing this outline, getting it ready. I was still in, not a great headspace, in all honesty, from, the stress of my day personally. But, it was fine. And then I went to try and figure out what this day was. And I just genuinely could not. I do this thing where I know, like, how to type crown princess in most languages. And I searched in Swedish, I searched in Italian, I searched in English with the word Italy nearby. I could not figure out what they did all day. I, of course, checked the royal household's website. That's what I do first. Nothing yet. They shared it this morning. Okay, fine. You know, like, okay, fine. I just can't figure out. I figured out a little bit. They visited a train station, command center for transportation. Like, I figured out that much, but that's the only thing I could figure out. So I think today's explanation is going to be better, right? Well, it wasn't. I still have zero idea of what they're actually doing. I know they're on a trade promotion. I know what the focus is. I don't know what they're doing day to day. And it's driving me crazy. Like, it's absolutely driving me crazy. So I'm thinking what's going to end up happening is they're going to put everything together in a nice little write-up at the end of the trip. So we'll see that. It's fine. It's just frustrating. And this has been the ongoing problem with me and the Swedish royal family. Their website is sometimes great and sometimes terrible, and it's just very hard to keep up with. So, alas, that is what was going on. I'm going to make that the end of the episode. Please check out thedailyroyal.com, The Daily Royal on Instagram, shop The Daily Royal on Etsy, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Bye.